unless they got relatives. I had one person, Anderson, he lived on Cone Road in East Hampton. She called me one day and she said, my husband is dying of cancer. And we'd like to buy a couple of graves in Rockland Cemetery. And I said, well, you know, you live in East Hampton, we don't sell property to people. She said, well, I go to the Lutheran church in Haddam Neck. And she says, and I'm best friends with Elder Christensen. What could I say?
Yeah.
What, did she get in, Harry?
Yes.
Yes.
She got in? Okay, that's the important
And her
thing.
husband is down there, but she's still,
She's
I don't
still
know where
alive?
she is now, but somebody puts flowers on the grave every spring.
Oh, okay. Huh.
What's funny about that lot, because that was people from New York bought that lot. And they called me several years before and said, hey, we have a lot of room in that lot. We're from New York. My parents are buried there. What do we want to be buried there for, you know? We never lived there.
Right.
So I bought 4 lots back from them. And they bought 2 from me from that lot. So,
Wow, okay.
and they were Anderson too.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Huh. What about political beliefs and getting involved in politics and?
Well, my dad was a Republican, a diehard Republican. And my mother, she was a Republican, but not strong like my
Yeah,
dad. My dad, I could tell you a story about my dad. When Billy O'Neill was running for governor, we were at the fair, and Billy O'Neill was walking around. And Bill, of course, I knew Bill because I went to school with him. He called me over, he said, will you introduce me to some of the people in Haddam Neck? Well, I was a Republican too, but I'm not a diehard
Yeah,
Republican.
yeah.
No, but for who I think will do a better job. I said, sure. I says, there's my dad over there. I'll take you over there. My dad saw him coming, because my dad knew him too for driving the school bus.
Yeah.
And my dad put his hand up, he says, I don't talk to no Democrats.
Oh my gosh, wow. Did O'Neill got elected that year though, did he?
Yeah,
he
I
did.
voted for him,
Yeah,
because I like Bill.
yeah, yeah. I love it. When you were growing up here in Haddam Neck, were there other relatives that you were in contact with?
No,
Not really.
not blood relatives.
Not blood relatives, okay, yeah.
So what did you do for fun when you were growing up here? You
Do for what?
do for fun.
Fun?
You spent a lot of time on the river.
Yeah, I spent a lot of time until I got older. When I was younger, this lot here, Dad had his garden in here. And with 7 kids, he had a big garden. And that's where I spent most of my summers working in the garden. Because Dad, he was busy, you know, he had all these kids to take care of, and he had a turkey farm up there. He had 500 turkeys,
Where was the turkey farm?
right up here.
Right where Mark's office is? Where the
Yeah,
barn
He had
is?
the cows in there. He had
Oh.
5 cows in there.
Your father had 500 turkeys.
Yeah.
So he sold
He
turkeys.
sold Christmas time, Thanksgiving time was busy time.
Oh my gosh.
And you-
Did he sell
he-
them live?
No.
Oh,
butcher.
okay, he had a, okay, he took care, wow.
Well, he had several chicken houses, turkey houses over here. Yeah, when he gave up the turkey business, he tore those down. He built the garage there now. That's
Okay.
where he got the lumber from.
Okay.
Well, where Bruce lives now, you know Bruce?
Yeah.
That used to be the butchering room. Half of that was the butchering room, and the other half had turkeys. And it went over south farther too. They tore the old part of the turkey house down. He started with a small turkey house, and then he added on this other end with it. So Myrtle thought, gee, we could make that into a house when she got married, and that's what she did. Her and Bob, because Dad helped me. He done most of the work. Like when I built my house, Dad he done most of the exterior because I was working at Pratt Whitney at second shifts. So I'd come down here in the morning and work. And Dave Flood used to live up here. He'd come down and help Dad put the rafters up.
Wow.
But he put up the whole shell and he got the windows in for me, and then I finished it. I put the sheetrock up and put the walls in. A fellow by the name of Arnold Lepine built a chimney for me and put the fireplace. That's a
Gas?
what they call it? Fire lighter. It's got a metal in the back.
Oh.
It's built something like a furnace. He heats that up and it comes out on top. But we could never use it because it's too hot. The mantle there, Charlie Chase gave me.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we're looking for a 2-inch plank for a mantle. That isn't 2-inch, but it's close to it. That's the best I could do. So Charlie gave me that. Bobby Johnson's father made all the windows in the house. Not these, I had them replaced years later. But all the windows came from his father.
That's what he did.
It's a true Haddam Neck joint project.
And I worked for him for a while too, building windows. Not very long. Then Lander come into the picture.
Lander worked for Bobby Johnson's father?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Well, I worked for him too, his lumber used to come in Depot Hill in Cobalt, come
Okay.
from Maine. And it was all slick wood. There couldn't be a knot in it for windows,
Sure.
So he wanted to know if I could help him unload well, he got several fellas to help. There's an awful lot of stuff in one of those freight cars. When I opened that door, oh God, that's going to take us a month to cook.
So you had to load up a truck?
So we'd load up a truck, take it all down to his barn down there and unload it.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah.
Wow.
So
Did you ever tell Bruce that he lives on a turkey farm?
Yes.
He knows, okay.
Yeah, he keeps after me, come on up, I want to show you the house. He said, I want to see changes. Well, all this trim I got from George too.
Okay.
Bob's father. There's
right.
not a knot in it,
Yeah.
if you notice.
Huh.
I believe that.
Was
I
it
do.
knots
I
today?
believe it too. I
Knots
do.
today, you can put a sealer over them. So,
Yeah.
but like if the heat, you have a hot house, it'll bleed.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Yeah. Wow. Interesting.
So when you were a child, Dave Flood lived in the corner house here.
Yeah.
That's since been torn down.
Yeah.
Who lived in the Clark house, where Bobby lives?
Thurston.
R. Thurston.
There was Bob's, let's see, it'd be his great-grandfather lived in there.
Huh.
And what was his name? Was he a Clark?
Oh, yeah.
I'll look it up. Was he Robert? They were all Roberts. And it
Some
wasn't.
several Clarks, there's a name on the house now, and I can't remember. That's who they named Ben Clark Hill. His
Benijah.
great-great-grandfather.
Benijah.
Adelbert Clark, that was his name.
Adelbert, okay.
Adelbert.
And he had a son, Selden Clark,
Oh, okay.
which taught school in Moodus there for a while.
Huh.
And he's the one we also have a recorded history with.
Oh, yeah?
Yes. You
Sel-
gave it to us.
He was a smart man.
Sheldon Clark.
Yes.
Well, he's buried in Rockland in Cemetery. His wife is buried there, and his son is buried there. He only had the one son.
Adelbert, okay. Now, who lived in Margaret's house when you were growing up?
That was one of his sons,
Oh, okay.
Amzie Clark. You must have heard about Amzie.
Yes, I have heard the name Amzie.
Yeah.
He and Lillian Brooks did a lot of work together.
Well, they lived together. You didn't know that?
No.
Oh, yes, they did.
I heard rumors.
And if you look at Connie real close, you can see his.
Okay, Mary, I'm gonna have to delete that.
I see. Okay.
Lily and Chan lived together for maybe 30 years, and then all of a sudden she had a baby when he moved in. What
That
would you
is-
think, you know?
That is interesting. Very interesting.
Well, he worked for Social Security. AMSI.
Amzie.
Yeah.
Amcy Clark.
Now, who lived in the house down below?
Well, it was Collins who lived there for a while,
Collins Lane.
but I don't remember when they lived there. And then Lil Newman and her husband lived there in the late 30s, and because he was drafted into the Army in World War II, and he worked for Bailey's Express. And then Pratt Whitney was hiring a lot of help, so he went up there and got a job. And then they built that house on Herd Park Road.
Interesting. I never knew that.
Yeah.
So now, when you were growing up, who were your contemporaries? Were there a lot of other children your age?
Well, there was Harvey and Pete Brainerd, who lives with Paulette lives now.
Okay.
And
Okay.
then there was the Lundells that lived on Herd Park Road, which they was our cousins at the time, not related. And the Moonies, Pat's side of the family,
Oh, yeah.
they used to come up in the summertime, just the summer, because they went to school down in the city. Their father worked for the newspaper down there. And they used to come up after school was over, and you go back down before school started. But that's how Pat and